September 30th, 1998. It's a day I'll never forget. The cop inside me died that day. And that night, Raccoon City was wiped out, thanks to the bioweapons created by Umbrella. Somehow I made it out, but too many others weren't so lucky. I was asked later to join a top-secret government program. Not that I had a choice. The training, punishing missions, nearly killed me. But at least I kept my mind off everything. If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain, even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
Welcome to TacosandGeeks.com. Justin here, and today we are going to be talking about the Resident Evil Remake demo that just dropped. I'm going to give you my impressions, my thoughts. First thing I just want to say and comment on the story, just based off that opening cutscene that you saw there. I'm really loving the fact that they're focusing more on the traumatic events of Resident Evil 2 and that how that experience has made Leon a little bit of a more tragic character and just what is going through him in this game psychologically, like the effects of it, how that has affected his mind. So I'm really curious and hoping to see a little bit more of a deep dive character study on Leon and how the effects of Raccoon City incident really affected him and see how it's going to play psychologically on him in this game. That being said, I'm really happy that they kept the most of that core story elements in there while adding a little bit more character flair so the audience can relate more to these characters that we know and love. Gameplay wise, man, if you are a fan of Resident Evil 2 Remake, you are going to fit right at home with this. That tone is exactly here, that tense feeling. It's all here, but just really turned up a notch, especially with the game that 4 is. And I had to say this too. Killing these guys is just as difficult as it is in 2. You're not going to be getting those one-shot headshots easily. You're going to have to be very strategic with your bullets. Your knife is going to be definitely your best friend. As you see, I'm just keep getting my ass handed to me by the Gonzalez here. And I really enjoyed it. Just the aesthetics, the way the game controls, the inventory, all of this is still intact, but it's really, you really tell they really put their heart into this. And I forgot to mention that this gameplay that you're seeing is recorded directly from my PlayStation 4 base. I don't have a Pro. This is a PlayStation 4 base, and the game still runs fantastic, looks fantastic. I am so excited. And one thing I really love about this demo that I played so far, with the demo that we all played, obviously, is this is more horror based. It still has that shooting mechanics and shooter elements of you going through a wave of enemies, but they made sure that there is a lot more riding with this. There's a lot more tense. Like if you remember the first game, for those that played it, when Leon went into that house, it wasn't as expansive as this place is. This place has multiple doors, hidden areas, and things that items that you get to pick up. This thing really has enemies just walking around, as you see this gentleman doing. It is very tense, very creepy, and just adding to the way the soundtrack is. This is going to be one hell of an experience, and I think so far, just based off this demo, this is already a day one purchase for me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us already pre-ordered it. For me, this is going to be a day one purchase. I loved this demo. I love the fact that with the inclusion of the knife and how the knife works and how the knife is also can get damaged and you'll have to find items to recraft your knife. And trust me, you are going to need this knife because the enemies are that challenging. Now let's talk a little bit about the graphics. As you can see, and as I said before, this is from my PlayStation 4 base, and it still looks gorgeous. This looks amazing. I can't imagine how it's gonna look on the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 5, and it's just a beautiful game to look at. They really kept the aesthetics of the original game while adding a lot more creep factors, a lot more pathways, as you can see here, to go get your ammo, get items. This was such a blast, and I'm really really hoping that the other part of the games has this same type of dark, intense tone. But speaking of that, speaking of tone, what is tone without the music? So I'm gonna be quiet for a bit so you can hear the music and the intensity and sound quality of this game. So check this out. As you saw from that shotgun blast that I did gorgeously, this game is brutal. Even with the physics now, they have really upped up the gore in this. And man, I loved every bit of it, of just blasting. This game is so tense. You're gonna be running. You're gonna have to run. You're gonna have to really be on your toes. These Ganados are very tough. I said that before, but they're very smart as well. I didn't show you the clip what happened to me, but I'll tell you what happened. I shot a Ganado. He got back up. So I was running out of bullets. So I ran to a different part of the village. This guy literally followed me the entire way. Somehow I was battling an enemy. Turn around, it's the same guy I shot. Ends up killing me. It was just awesome. One thing that this game is also going to be introducing is more of the crafting here. And as you can see, how you mix your herbs, but you're also going to be able to find items, metals that's going to be able to craft your bullets that you're going to need, because the stranger is not going to be available all the time for you to get your bullets or to upgrade your weapon. So crafting, I'm hoping, is not going to dominate too much of the game. And I'm hoping that we'll still have enough items to pick up. But the inclusion of the way they this crafting system and where they're gonna do it, I think is gonna work very very well for the game. And overall, everybody, I'm gonna give this a very very high thumbs up. I am waiting, can't wait for March 24th. This is going to be a masterpiece. I truly believe that this is going to be a masterpiece, and Capcom is killing it with these Resident Evil remakes. Fingers crossed for Code Veronica, and fingers crossed that after this we get more. Maybe we'll get Resident Evil 5, but a more horror-based Resident Evil 5 and not multiplayer, and we'll get a little bit more of a backstory with this. But at this point, if they keep pulling out quality like this, I know this is just a demo, so I can't really say, oh my god, the game's good. But just based off this demo, if they keep doing these RE remakes like this, I'm all for like kind of a whole reboot universe here, and go back to one and reboot that and remake that in this type of camera perspective and angle, and really make that like really really terrifying. But this is Justin from otakusandgeeks.com. What did you think of the Resident Evil 4 remake demo? Did you play it? Comment below, let me know, and I'll see you on the next time. Thank you, of course, for watching otakusandgeeks.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube, and as always, thank you for visiting.